gonna bring y'all another topic, and it's a good one. You know, something we all about. And we're just gonna get right into it. My name is Patrick.
I'm Tasha.
I'm Terry.
I'm Garrett. Oh, and it's all about the melanin, y'all.
Yeah. So we have a positive news to give. You know, that goes into what we're about here. You know, the show is called the Pan-African Millennial Hour. We're Pan-Africanists, of course, for the title, and this is a article, you know, coming out from the travel news, the Turbo News, international new publication, and it's about Africa is getting ready to set out a single passport this year. You know, the passport is for all African nations to set to be introduced this year as the continent is forging its way to easing movement of people and goods within the international borders. The single passport is a declaration of the African Union and their agenda for 2063, seeking to integrate the continent business and politically, based on pan-Africanism and the vision for Africa's renaissance, they say. You know, and it sounds like a good thing. It's a good thing. You know, I think Africa needs to get to a point where it is borderless, and you know, it'll ease certain tensions that these countries have with each other. And you won't have people hide behind the fact that, you know, it is borders. You know, there's conflict. You know, you have things like Boko Haram and stuff like that who, you know, different groups that hide behind these things. You know, then this could free it up. You know, the political part, we have to, decide on what that is, because this will change some laws as far as how things are, go from country to country,
right.
Who can go in, who can go out, and different things.
And
like
entries
that.
and stuff. Then you talk about how so many different type of
like to do with
regulations.
Trade, but not being, negative, not looking at the negative side, but towards Pan-Africanism. This is a hit and a plus for Pan-Africanism.
Oh,
yes,
100%.
Based on the youth,
100%.
there's a lot of the youth in Africa who want Pan-Africanism realized, And this could be a step forward. So now I think communication is going to be a big part of it. They didn't say this in this article, but I think that's to be a big part of it too, because if you open up borders, that means you open up communication between
Let my people
across
go.
borders and the youth. Africa, me and my sister were talking about it earlier, but Africa's a young country. A lot of the countries it's a young continent, and a lot of countries, the average age is young. Yeah. Pretty young. And so, these kids are about these communications, social media era, and they're about these things now. And I think a lot of them are yearning to communicate and have a certain, discourse with each other, and talk and everything like that. So it is a good thing. And the African Union spearheading it, and it's part of the initiative. However you feel about the African Union, because a lot of things, of course, the history, there are things they don't interfere in, and times where they should step up and help out, if they're about to unite the entire continent. Yeah. So there's those things. But speaking specifically of this, it's something we can, I think, pretty much hang our hat on, and hopefully it plays out as it should. Yeah. And the positives do roll out more than the negatives. If there's negatives, it should roll out, and it's something good. If
it's a very true, definite effort in putting it, like you said, you never really know. I mean, like you said, the European Union and definitely other nations have like a backing and trying to make sure the African Union wants to survive, or like the type of stuff that they get their hands to. They just kind of keep an eye. So you hope that is just genuine. But yes, at the idea of having that one African passport, just about to say, I do want one, just about to say, but just to have one out there, but just to have one out there, it's like you said, it was good. We talk about trade, we talk about economics. So there was like different nations, of course, across like the eastern side of Africa, on the western side of Africa. So you think about the traveling, like you said, you have that one passport, them going in. I talked about my sister, and I was talking with my sister. That could be a global thing. Passports are global, right? Because we're talking about traveling airspace. All right. So let's expand this idea. What about resources and produce that's come from like Latin countries, right? Or they come from the Caribbean. Yeah. Now, I'm not speaking for them to say on the Latin side, because there's a lot of African people, Africanas, and Africans like also in the Caribbean, right? Yeah. So they don't have that immediate directness to Africa. Yeah. So we just say, like, let's say if the passport is able into some way where not necessarily the country itself identifies with being a part of the black of the Black Union, but the people. So if an African person is in, let's say, if he's in like Brazil, or if he's in like Mexico, or United States, you know what I'm saying, or if he's in the Caribbean, and that person themselves identifies with being African, they do what they do, right, and they identify. So if they can go and apply for this 2063, which is the passport, that's the name of it. If they go apply for this 2063, they can get an African passport, and then now you're a person in the Caribbean traveling to Botswana, you're traveling to Zimbabwe, you're traveling to Ethiopia, you're you can go. You have that. That's limitless. Our borders, which way you can go outside like that. So I kind of want to open. Yeah, absolutely.
You hit on that. Absolutely. Dual citizenship. A lot of African countries are already offered.
And why shouldn't we?
To the diaspora.
Sure,
like
absolutely.
So how does that play into it? Right,
man. This is pan-African. This is pan-African, and we don't need to really close doors on none of our brothers and sisters abroad. So, like you said, as well as the United States, because we keep them in there as well too. Because that's why I think why it is so smart, because now we're opening up that. It's more. It's like you said. It's trade. It's economic. We're bringing up the commerce connections. You know what I mean. Also, it could be another way. You know what it is. Like you said, it's the Pan-African hour. You know what we talk about. Think about the expanding of our culture. So think about how much we can take one culture from one side of one in one area and bring it into a whole nother one, into a whole other country. From that. Man, think about that kind of expansion, man, homie. I'm down for the passport, man. Who with me, man? I'm trying to get me one.
Youth could develop something amazing that we don't even know about because of this,
Absolutely.
By linking up and getting together,
Man, travel is such a big huge. We talk about Nollywood, yes. We talk about like this, about how Africa's growing, like you said, it's young. But think about all that travel. It's not just in Africa. There's also young Black African thinking people in Brazil, in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Because there's Africans in Mexico. Don't let y'all get it twisted. Don't let them feed y'all minds. Jamaica's got they got young people. Haiti got young people coming in. It's so much young blackness in the world. Just want to say that in the worldwide, there's young blackness thought. So we should just say that. You know what I mean? We don't need to close the doors on none of these young brothers and sisters out there.
You're right, because you brought up a good point, because in the past couple of years, there's been a lot of articles about a lot of the diaspora moving to Africa, actually living to Africa.
Absolutely.
You see, my dream place to go, I really want to visit Ghana one day. That's my dream.
Yes, we talk about
Thai content, but Ghana's that place for me, But Ghana sees an explosion of Black people moving to Ghana, and mostly from America.
Right.
You look at YouTube, there's a lot of people talk about, the best way to move to Ghana, or how to live out here as an American in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? In different other countries. And you see one after year, every year, just about one or two new African countries implement one of those, like dual citizenship offers. There's another one, and another one comes on. So there's different drive, and there's a fervor for this, which is good. So you see that the diaspora is already paying attention, and this can have fuel to it. It's much more comfortable. And I think the diaspora is seeing Africa in a different way than we have in the past, more so. I think there's a more of a acceptance of what it is. It's not just these BS images they give to us. I think that's going away. I think we're seeing the image of Africa is not what it is when they fed us and everything here in America and across the world. No. Because this is the beautiful part about social media and all these things, that we get to see it for ourselves. We're seeing that, oh my God, these places are beautiful.
Yes.
The people are beautiful. There's a lot of things coming out. Even the media and art, there's a lot of actors and everything.
Even the things that are not beautiful, it still creates a connection.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because a lot of these countries in Africa too, we see that they're not perfect and they have their own issues, but for whatever reason, it's like we can connect the struggle, and we're going through the same.
And we do a lot of that in this show. We always maintain talking about different stories coming across from diaspora in different other countries. We do that because we want to show that we go through the same things worldwide. We're going through the same struggles. A lot of articles we're going to get ready to do is talking about what's going on over there in Uganda and Zimbabwe.
The whole point of our show is to make the connection. That's why we call it Pan-African. That we're all going through the same struggle.
Here.
That's one love. One love to my sister, y'all. One love to my sister. Y'all hear her out there. That's one love. She said that beautifully.
That part, and that's just want to say about it. So, just look into it more. Definitely article. I'll put the article down there for you guys to find. But definitely look at it for yourself.
It's just a travel. No, of course. No, please.
Because I hate to say it, but you guys are always talking about the whole making Africa one nation.
Yes.
How we have we have North America, but we have like the United States.
Yeah.
And we have South Africa, and we have Europe. Yeah. And even Europe saw the need to have a European Union.
Yeah.
Right?
Man,
they saw
think
the
about
need
that.
to do that after a while. And I know it seems like it's short-lived. It's still going on, but then Britain pulled out.
Yes.
So they're going through their own struggles. Yeah. But there was a lot of development that came from that.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of countries that exist on the same continent are considering that. And I think Africa is one of the ones where people look at and was just like, it's so obvious. You have the same setup as, the United States.
Yeah.
So why would you not have a united African nation.
Yeah,
right. And it just seems like this, and it's actually not like it's been in the works, and it's actually like a stretched out plan too, right?
Yes,
because I think this thing, they said 2063.
Just implemented this year, starting this year.
We're in 2021, so we have like a long drawn out plan, and we will probably bring this story up again because our whole point is just to stay focused and Pan-African. That's our goal, is to make sure we're always talking about the diaspora. We're always talking about the progression of the diaspora.
That's the key. Yes,
the
right.
Progression of the diaspora.
Yes.
We always want to put that. And the reason why we share this story is because we want to add to the numbers, add to the supporters. People that don't know what's going on.
It's the idea and growing, man. You know what I mean?
Last point.
You know how it is.
Last quick point, because you have just quickly attack the naysayers of Pan-Africanism. The headquarters of Pan-African organization is in France.
Wait, say that one more time.
Look it up for yourself. The headquarters or the center for Pan-Africanism is in France. You have to look at the bigger picture. I think, despite its founding, despite what it is, I think the black people understand what they want it to be.
Yeah.
What we want this to be is about our people. Is about having our connection. The end goal is what's the point,
I mean, what is that? Yeah, well, I mean, just hopefully it expands. That's not something I want to just keep going, but it's the expansion of the African Union. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I do agree with that. Because, again, to what you're saying, and it's not to really hone into the same point you're making, but it's like you don't want to have that. You don't want to think that it's disingenuous, or there is someone that's outside kind of puppeteering this thing that's going on with Africans, and then they're kind of lulling us in or piping us in to some type of like, oh yeah, you guys register for some type of thing, and they just want to chart everywhere where black people go. You know what I'm saying? So again, I do agree, but at the same point, again, I just want to see like the positive idea. Hopefully it can expand to where we include all these, like I said, in the Caribbean, all these other black countries, so the African Union could be as big as it can be to settle Pan-African.
And having our control of it is the end point. It's about our people. We have control of it. So that's it, people. And we're talking about this. It's about our people, the diaspora, because we talk about, and just follow us, like us, all that. We around. Just type in the PM Hour and Google. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Comment. Please comment, y'all.
So
comment on it.
We like to hit y'all back. Talk about it. All right, people.
Yeah,